Hey folks, Levi here once again. Welcome back to another video. Hope you enjoyed my video last week of Vegas 59 and my experience at the Atlanta Comic Con, which was really fun last Saturday. Yeah, that was a fun day. Except for somebody spitting with ATM, which is disgusting. But anyways, welcome back to another review, guys. I know I haven't done a review like in 3 weeks. Now y'all know I've been doing a superhero marathon on my channel. I've been on the 90s era of superhero movies. Last one was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze. And it was just 2 films of 1991. I got one more film that this was made. This film came out in 1991. I think it came out in... Yeah, it came out in June. But this film is really an underrated movie. It was directed by Joe Johnson. It is a period superhero science fiction film. Still superhero related. It was made by Walt Disney. It's a live action movie, but it's still, this character to me is a superhero. He's very a patriotic character, so he's still a superhero. So it counts for this marathon. It counts, and that is starring Billy Campbell, Jennifer Connelly, the late Alan Arkin, Timothy Dalton, and the late Paul Zamino. If he died, I think he probably did, but Paul Zamino, and that is. Yeah, okay, he did pass away back 20. Wow. Anyway, that is The Rocketeer, directed by Joe Johnson. I love this movie. This is a really underrated movie. Never hear people talk about it, but The Rocketeer is a really fun, underrated superhero 90s flick. It's a very fun movie. I loved it. I thought it was really good. Not perfect. I do have a little bit of issues, but despite that, this is still an entertaining movie. Jennifer Connelly is great in here. She's beautiful. Billy Campbell is The Rocketeer. Cliff Secord, that is a cool name. I like the name for the character. Timothy Dalton, was never sent clear. He does a great job. He's the film's main villain. Yeah, really good cast in here. Some familiar faces in here you probably recognize from other movies or TV shows. But it's a really good movie. Very underrated movie from the early 90s. It was 1991 when this was released. Yeah. Anyway, we'll get into talking about the film itself. So, production. Comic book writer artist David Stevens created The Rocketeer. Yeah, his name is Dave Stevens. He passed away back in 2008, but here's a little picture of him from 1982. He's the one that created the character of the Rocketeer. Yeah, I just love the Rocketeer's helmet and the mask, suit, and the rocket's really cool too. The character first appeared in 1982 and is an homage to the Saturday maintained serial heroes from the 1930s through the 1950s. The Rocketeer's secret identity is Cliff Secord, a stunt pilot who discovers a mysterious jetpack that allows him to fly. His adventures are set in pre-World War II America, and Stevens gave them a retro, nostalgic feel. The character first appeared in publications from Pacific Comics and be printed in several other independent companies until 1975. Stevens' drawing style and careful research gave the various Rocketeer a richer, as well as slowly publishing schedule. Following his death in 2008, he established license to Rocketeer to IDU Publishing, who have since produced numerous titles starring the character. Characters were adapted to the 1991 film This Movie, directed by Joe Johnson. His first adventures were in 1982. Yeah, just a little bit inside here, but I'm not going to read this whole thing about the comics, but if you're interested, just go on Wikipedia. You can read more about the character if you want. Anyway, like I said, and really, he viewed the character as an ideal protagonist for a film adaptation. Steve Miner purchased the film rights. He's notable for his work in the horror genre. He directed Friday the 13th Part 2, and he directed Part 3, which I do like Part 3, yeah. I like those movies, yeah. House, Warlock, he also directed Lake Placid, which I like that movie. Produced the film right from Stevens in 1930, but he strayed too far from the original concept, and the rights reverted to Stevens. In 1985, Stevens gave writers Dana Pilson and Paul D. Mel a free option on the Rocketeer rights. Stevens liked that their ideas for the Rocketeer were heartfelt and affectionate tributes to the 1930 serial films. With all the right dialogue and atmosphere, most people reproach my characters contemptuously, but Danny and Paul saw them as pre-war modes. Stevens, Blitzen, and D. Meyer began to be considered making The Rocketeer as a low-budget film, shot in black and white, and funded by independent investors. Their plan was to make the film a concept homage to Commando Cody, Rocket Man serials, and a used cast largely associated, and usually cast largely associated with characters and actors. However, that same year, the trio approached William Deere to direct The Rocketeer. I've never seen him direct. I like hearing the Hendersons. He directed that. The Rocketeer. They eventually dropped the low-budget idea. Wilson, DeMille, and Deere kept the comic book's basic plot intact, but fleshed out to include a Hollywood setting and a climactic battle against a Nazi Zeppelin. They also tweaked Cliff's girlfriend to avoid comparisons to Betty Page, Steve's original inspiration, changing her name from Betty to Jenny, and her profession from new model to Hollywood usher. A change also made to make the film more Disney family friendly. Deere proceeded to transport the climax from a submarine to a civilian set piece. Stevens, Wilson, DeMille, and Deere began to pitch the Rocketeer in 1986 to the major film studios, but were turned down. But this was 1986, long before Batman or Dick Tracy or anything similar explained. In those days, no studio was interested in an expensive comic book movie. We got there about 3 years too early for our own good. Walt Disney Studios eventually accepted The Rocketeer because they believed the film had television potential and appeal for merchandising. The Rocketeer was set to be released to the studio's Touchstone Pictures labels. Stephen Wilson, DeMille, and Deere all signed a contract which would permit them to make a trilogy of The Rocketeer films. However, Disney Chairman Jeff Katzenberg switched the film to a Walt Disney Pictures release. According to Stevens, immediately Betty and anything else adult went right out with the baby water. They really tried to shoehorn into a kiddie party so they could sell toys. All they really wanted at the end of the day was the name. Wilson and DeMille the subtitle their 7-page film treatment to Disney, but the studio put the script through an endless series of revisions. Over 5 years, Disney fired and rehired Wilson and Deere for these 3 times. DeMille explained that Disney felt that they needed a different approach to the script, which meant bringing in someone else. But those scripts were thrown out and we always brought back on. They found the studio's constant taking the screenplay to be a frustrating process. Executives were like previously dialogue 3 months later. Scenes that had been thrown out 2 years ago were put back in. We were also to the point, DeMille said, one of Wilson and DeMille's systemic revisions to the script over the years were to make Cliff and Jenny's romance more believable and full of cliche aspects as they would tear up Jenny as a damsel in distress. The numerous project delay forced Deere to drop out as director. Joe Johnston, who was a fan of the comic book, immediately offered the services as director when he found Disney owned the film rights. Johnston was quickly hired in pre-production during the early 1990s. Wilson and DeMille's third major rewrite. Disney finally greenlit The Rocketeer. The creation and novelization St. Clair was inspired by period film star Errol Flynn. The film's St. Clair is like biographer Charles Hyman explained, a film star known for his work in social political roles who is strictly a Nazi spy because... Oh, damn it, I made a spoiler. But there will be spoilers in this review. So if you've never seen the film The Rocketeer, don't watch this video because there's spoilers. The other real-life characterization was of Howard Hughes. I'll also put it in the description box below of this video that there will be spoilers. So anyway, casting the lead roles of Cliff Seaford was a stroke for the filmmakers. Disney executive Joe Katzenberg even had one of the studio's then staff writers, Patrick, audition for the part. Kevin Costner and Matthew Modine were the first actors considered for the role. The both projects would be unavailable was Dennis Quaid, Kurt Russell, Bill Paxton, and Melanie Estevez audition for the part, but they didn't get it. Johnny Depp was Disney's favorite choice. While Paxton commended he came really close to eventually, Vincent D'Onofrio turned down the role, and the filmmakers were forced to continue their search. But Vincent D'Onofrio did play, I think he played the Kingpin in the Netflix TV series Daredevil. Yeah. The decision to cast Billy Campbell as Cliff Seaford caused mixed emotions among Disney executives. Director Joe Johnston and creator Dave Stevens believed Campbell was a perfect for the role, which I agree. I think he was, but Disney wanted an A-list actor. Johnston eventually convinced Disney otherwise. Campbell was not familiar with comic book when he got to the part, but quickly read it. In addition to books on aviation, he also appeared by listening to 1940s period music. The actor had a fear of flying, but overcame it with the help of film coordinator Greg Hoskin. To ensure his safety, Campbell was doubled for almost all the flying sequences in aircraft. Ultimately, a scale model device of puppeteer Tom Saint was used for all the rocket pack scenes. For the female lead, his girlfriend, Jenny, they were showing Flynn, Kelly Preston, Diana Lane, and Elizabeth McGovern were considered before Jennifer Connelly got the part. Campbell and Connelly's working relationship eventually led to a romantic coupling, which Johnson found to be a technique for method acting that helped with their on-screen chemistry. For Seaford's sidekick, Peavy, Dave Stevens hoped that Lloyd Bridges would play the part, but Bridges turned down and late Alan Arkin was cast. The part of Neville of St. Clair was offered to Jeremy Irons. and Charles Dance before Timothy Dalton accepted the role. Lastly, the part of Eddie was written for Joe Pesci-Mine, but he turned down the part, which went to Paul Sorvino. So I think Paul Sorvino and Joe Pesci, I think they were both in Goodfellas. Yeah. But the thing is, this is a movie, this is a Disney film, so can't really have Joe Pesci in there cussing up a storm, you know. Remaining cast members including Tinny Ron, Terry O'Quinn, a few of the cast members filming. Production for the film lasted from September 1990 to January 22nd, 1991. The film at the Griffin Observatory took place November 19th. The film ended up going 50 days it was scheduled due to weather and mechanical problems. Rocketeer creator Dave Stevens lied himself, director Joe Johnson, and production manager Ian Bryson, in an effort to be as heavily involved in the production process as possible and tried to even secure as much control as he could from Disney. Disney in particular was not enthusiastic with Stevens' involvement. I was on set night and day. Stevens averted from pre-production to post-production. Additionally, I had to fight to prove that I was there for the benefit of the film and not my own ego. The original production was set at $25 million, but rose to $35 million. This happened after Disney became impressed with the dailies. They realized this was a bigger movie than they expected. Johnson explained they proved it outrageous. An embedded World War II runway at the Santa California airport set the scene for the fictional Chaplin airfield. This was scenes were shot at Bakersfield for the air service scene. 700 Sensei myriad extras and 25 vintage aircraft were employed. A Rocketeer uniform on display at Planet Hollywood and Disney Springs. Stevens gave the film productions to Jim Bizzle, the two art directors, however, portraying the Rocketeer at the time period, including blueprints for hangars and bleachers. For the visual effects were designed and created by George Lucas's team, ILM, Industrial Light and Magic, who have done special effects for many movies, including this one. Joe Johnson also worked as an art director, film model maker before he, started directing movies. So that took off for him. Johnson's, realistic flying of Rocket Man led ILM to devise a lifelike sequel that was filmed in stop. So a lot of it was stop motion, coupled with an 19 figure that was manipulated by hand and geo motion. If you can find it here on YouTube, there is no making of the movie on this DVD, sadly. All you have is the trailer and some film recommendations and a trailer, that's it. But they do talk about, an island. Or if you watch Oliver Harper's YouTube channel, his review of this movie, one of the people from ILM will discuss how they, made the Rocketeer fly. I can't because I don't work at ILM, but they did a great job with it, I think. For the music, though, music was by the late James Horner. Who's done music for other films too. Other superhero films, The Amazing Spider-Man, which I do like his score for that. That's an underrated score. In my opinion, He did the music for Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, Commando, love that score, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Red Heat, another Arnold movie. Land Before Time, a Don Bluth movie. And Glory, with Matthew Broderick. Hocus Pocus, Clear Present Danger. Braveheart, Jumanji, Robert Joe Johnson again on Jumanji. And The Mask of Zorro and Mighty Joe Young. And Bicentennial Man. So I do like a lot of his scores. Some people say that James Horner repeated himself, but I've always, he's always been one of my favorite film composers, but that's just me. Alright, again, the production. So for marketing, below the Rocketeer, Disney made a tie-in with Pizza Hut and candies, and send the product line follow the video games. Toys, posters, and trading, like there was I'll talk about the video game. There was an NSS video game for the Rocketeer, I guess based on this movie. And I'm sure they had toys and stuff too. The game is a two-dimensional side-scroller where you play as the Rocketeer, just fighting bad guys. I guess a beat-em-up game. I don't know, I never played it. The Rocketeer has premiered at the Cap Theater on June 19th, 1991. When it was released on home video market and Laserdisc, Rocketeer earned $23.18 million in rentals. The film's music score plan produced by James Horner was released in both cassettes and CD variants. Yeah. Oh, and I forgot to mention this got from the late Cisco. This got 2 thumbs up from the late. If you can see it right there. Sorry for the glare. but it's from Siskel and Ebert. I'm like, wow, they like this movie. Roger Ebert enjoyed the film, knowing its homage to the film series of the 1930s and 1950s. Although Ebert synthesized the visual effects as being state-of-the-art, he described them as charmingly direct, as those wires in the Flash Gordon series. The ball of sparkles inside of them, which were pulled on wires. Yeah, but he got good reviews from, pretty good reviews from critics. Rocketeer creator Stan Stevens, he was satisfied with 77% of the film, and highly praised Joe Johnston's direction. His wins in the series is still there. Stevens remembers, we lost some good character stuff in the ending for time, but the tone of it still is what I was trying to project. The comic pages. And he talks about Joe, Stevens found Billy Campbell to be a good-looking guy, but he also happens to be close. I would never have cast him based on the good looks. But Sam Edition just nailed it shut. He was made for it. The part was his. The Rocketeer was nominated for both Best Dramatic Performance and Saturn, but also Terminator 2, which also came out the same year. The Terminator 2 probably made more money than this. Yeah. You had a TV series based on the film, which I've never seen. Billy Campbell voices Kit's father, Dave, in the series. Clip is seen throughout the series. Okay, cool. From the beginning of the process of making the Rocketeer, creator Dan Stevens, they visualized it as Shirley. Disney particularly hoped it would happen, but unfortunately, this call for a sequel remained. Maybe the film, the film didn't really get a sequel. Now they want to do a remake of it, which is a shame. But you could say that it didn't make enough money because Disney, marketed it for that because they wanted to make good money out of it. Of course, Disney is greedy now. Was greedy then. They're still very greedy. They just gotten worse with it now. But the film, on a $40 million budget, only made $46.7 million worldwide. So wasn't but it underperformed at the box office. So that's why you don't have no sequels or anything. And I guess maybe a lot of people were disappointed with it. Maybe a lot of people who read the comics, maybe the people who wrote the comics didn't like this movie. That could be a lot of people. I don't know. But it took them 3 or 4 years to make this one. It took them a while to make this one. But then you have Batman 1989 and Dick Tracy and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Those were successful movies. So that's why you get this, because mainly thanks to Tim Burton's Batman is why you probably get the Rocketeer here. I think a lot of movies from the 90s happened because of Batman, Tim Burton's Batman. I don't think Disney should have ever made this movie, but that's just my opinion. I think you could have been a little more adult with it, but Disney's going to pander to kids. But still, the movie's, don't get me wrong, it's still a fun and entertaining movie. It still works. And I'm okay with it being by Disney. It's fine with me. But if you want to make it a little more adult, I'm okay with that too. But the film is directed by Joe Johnston. He did some design and visual effects for movies like some of the Star Wars films, including The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Return of the Jedi. But eventually he got to make his debut in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and eventually led to The Rocketeer, and a film called The Paymaster, starring Macaulay Culkin and Jumanji. And he made other films like October Sky, Jurassic Park 3, which I'm not a fan of, but that's just me. But he did direct another superhero movie, and that was Captain America, The First Avenger. Yeah, he's a good director. He's definitely one of my favorites. And he's not directing movies since 2018. That was a Nutcracker on the Four Realms. Yeah. But he co-directed with some lady, but I guess the film didn't... Yeah, but he doesn't make movies anymore, which is sad, because I do enjoy it. I've never seen the Page Master, and I don't like Jurassic Park 3, but I do love Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Jumanji, and October Sky, and Captain America: The First Avenger. So I do think he's a good director. Then the film screenplay is by Danny Blitzen and Paul DiMeo. He was a writer-producer, for other stuff like The Flash 1990 series, and Trancers. I guess he worked on that. Heard some good things about that movie. Oh yeah, he developed. Oh, Danny Blitzen and Paul DiMeo. Oh yeah, they do. I forgot to mention they developed The Flash, the 1990 series. Yeah, I forgot to mention that, which I honestly should. Marty Mansley passed away. The based on the Rocketeer by Dave Stevens, produced by Charles Gordon, Lawrence Gordon, Lloyd Livin, cinematography by Hiro Nari, edited by Michael A. Stevenson, Arthur Schmidt, music by James Horner, distributed by Buena Vista Pictures, distribution, Disney. It was released June 21st, 1991. It's 108 minutes long. For the budget, it's $35 million, $40 million. Box office, I think here in the U.S. at $46.7 million worldwide. And for the cast, you have Billy Campbell as Cliff Secor, aka the Rocketeer. Yeah, he's probably acting in some other movies. Yeah, none that I've ever seen. I've only seen him in this. But he's been in some other movies too. Alan Arkin, late Alan Arkin, y'all know he's in a lot of movies. Y'all remember he passed away last June. But I would say I've seen him in Edward Scissorhands. He's really good in that. Marley and Me. Santa Claus 3. I liked him in that, but that movie wasn't very good, in my opinion. Yeah. Oh, and Get Smart. He was in that with Steve Carell. Jennifer Connelly plays in this movie. Now, she did do another superhero movie. It was Annalise Hope from 2003. Even though I hate that movie, she's good in this movie. She's a lot better. Yeah. She did a movie called Career Opportunities, Labyrinth, and Top Gun Maverick. She was in that. She's still a beautiful woman. Still a gorgeous woman. And Paul Sorvino, Blake Paul Sorvino was in it. He's done quite a bit of movies in his lifetime. And of course, he was in Dick Tracy, playing one of the gangsters, and of course, Goodfellas, Nixon. Oh, he did Heroin of the movie. You have Timothy Dalton as Nicholas Sinclair. Before this movie, Dalton was in another superhero movie, Flash Gordon. But this time he was playing, an ally, not a villain. But in this movie he's the villain, but in Flash Gordon he was an ally. But y'all should also know he was the fourth actor to play James Bond. Only in 2 Bond movies, The Living Daylights and License to Kill. License to Kill is very underrated. And he was in Looney Tunes Back in Action. Love that movie. And of course, he voices another character for Toy Story 3, Toy Story 4, or Toy Story 4, Mr. Pricklepants, yeah. In Toy Story 3, he voices Mr. Pricklepants. But he's a good actor. Ed Ritter as FBI Agent Fitch. I do remember seeing him in Death Wish 3. He's been in other movies. I'm trying to see if I know any. The 1976 King Kong movie. I think I might remember him in that. And of course, I said Death Wish 3. He was in Raw Deal, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. And of course, this movie. School Ties, he was in that with Brendan Fraser. Not another teen movie. Talladega Nights, he was in The Ballad of Ricky Bobby, but his scenes were deleted. James Handy, he was in Arachnophobia. I remember him in that, which was, released a year before this with Jeff Daniels. And of course he was in Jumanji. Oh yeah, I think I remember him in that. Oh, and he was in Top Gun Maverick too. Wow. And he was in Logan, an old doctor in Logan. So. Joe Polito as Otis. Now he did another superhero movie a couple years later. After this, he was the main villain in Blight Man. And Blight Man with Damian Wayans. And he was also another superhero movie that year, The Crow. He passed away too, sadly. But he was a really good actor. And he was in Bushwhacked with Dana Stern. He did a voice for Homer Brown in San Francisco. He played one of the mean dogs in that movie. And he, played in Stuart Little. Eddie Jones as Malcolm. William Sanderson as Keats. Margaret Matilda as Millie. Clint Howard as Monk. You know Clint Howard's in this movie, but I'm not going to say the whole cast. Like I said, if you don't know the cast, just look it up. Alright. Okay, but pretty much the plot synopsis of the Rocketeer. I'm sorry. But the plot for the Rocketeer. For the plot synopsis, what the movie is about is that this film is set in 1938 in Los Angeles, California. The Rocketeer tells the story of stunt pilot Cliff Secord, who discovers a hidden rocket packet that he thereafter uses it to fly without the need of an aircraft. His heroic deeds, however, soon attract the attention of Howard Hughes and the FBI, who are hunting for the missing rocket packet, as well as the Nazi operatives who stole it from Hughes. Howard Hughes, I think, was a real person. Yeah, I believe he was. Yeah, he was also a pilot. Didn't know too much about Howard Hughes, but hey, if you anything you know about that guy, just tell me below. It sounds like cool, he was a pilot. The actor who played Terry Quinn, good actor. Yeah, he was. I think people know him from The Stepfather, the original, not the remake. I think I know he was in Young Guns. He was in Tombstone. I remember him in that. Good actor. But yeah, just to bring that up. Yeah, anyway, this is the plot basically. And the Nazis kidnap his girlfriend, Jenny, again played by Jennifer Connelly, and the Rocketeer, and Cliff, as the superhero president of the Rocketeer, must save her, stop the Nazis, and basically save the world, save the day. So that's the plot in a nutshell for you, with the Rocketeer. And before we talk about the movie itself, now we're in 27 minutes. I'm sorry. Couldn't help it. I was talking about the history of the movie. Sorry. You know I do that on my channel. Pretty much the movie starts off with good music, with the Rocketeer, the theme by James Horner, It does feel like it's very on heroic theme, and I like the theme with the Rocketeer. It's very nice to listen to. I love the score. James Horner, I thought, did a great job with that. But he always has in my opinion, with his superhero scores, it's a feel-good score, in my opinion. It really works for the hero, and this score really works for the Rocketeer. You have the opening, you have Peavy, and Cliff talking about this rocket. Not this rocket. He's starting off in his airplane, and they've been working on this for years. Meanwhile, the FBI are trying to get these two gangsters in the car, who are part of Eddie Valentine's gang. They steal a rocket pack from Howard Hughes. There's a shootout, and as Cliff is flying his airplane, the plane gets shot out. He crashes. And one gangster shot to death. The other gangster, he has the rocket in the bag. The rocket. Yeah, again, this is what this movie is about. Real hot potato with the rocket, as everyone's trying to get their hands on it. But anyway, they put the rocket and the plane of one of Peavy's planes, and he escapes. But the gangster gets to a wreck, and they ask him where the package is at. He doesn't tell them, and Peavy is fussing at him at the FBI about this. And one of them gets, a mouth to Cliff. Cliff says, buddy, why don't you get a real job? And Cliff punches him in the face, and the guy punches him, you'll make a kid, I'll send you to jail. But after they question the guy, he's like, go find it. It crippled his career, though, and he's pretty much told by Joe Polenta, who was the owner of their place, the owner of, it's basically this is his place, and he owns it. He knows they don't come up with the money, that they're going to be fired, I guess you can say. But whether, they're talking about, that their problems, they're going to pay him back. But eventually, after that, they say, it was like, ow! Then he tells you it's the rocket. They're sitting in the cockpit. and they touch it at first. What I like that they do is Cliff touches something. He's like, I wouldn't do that if I didn't do it, and the rocks are flying everywhere. And he's like, turn it off. He uses like a stick or something to turn it off because it's on fire. So he just want to get near that fire. So he touches it, and they figured out he tested it out. He's like, this could help us make money. You know, like we're lucky. He's like, we're lucky here. So at that time they stole a statue. Excuse me. They stole a statue from like the house, maybe like a courthouse, but they stole the statue. They tie the Rocketeer, this rocket to test it, and it works. I get, Cliff wants to try it on, but it could be dangerous if it explode on him. So instead of putting himself in danger, he uses the statue as a test dummy, and it works. They're like, Cliff, we stole it. We gotta return it back. He's like, no, we just need to use it for a while. He's like, Cliff, when you don't borrow something, you don't tell somebody that's stealing. I know, but we still gotta make our money and pay our dues. Meanwhile, you found out that movie star, it was clear how higher Valentine's gang to steal the rocket back. And he's like, Eddie, where's the rocket? He's like, Eddie, I'm truly sorry about your knife. And he's got, a knife, he's, a sword, he's just around. And he's like, Eddie, don't mess with me. You need to find that. He's like, all right, Eddie tells him, you better tell me what this is all about, what we're looking for. He says, don't, me and my boys, we're out of here, we're done. Okay, boys, let's go. He's like, it's a rocket. What do you want with a rocket, Mr. Hollywood? What do you want with it? They mock him and tease him. He's like this. And he calls him a lunatic. And then, because Timothy Dalton, he plays it. He plays a charming villain with a sense of charm and a charade. He's a good actor. Very good at acting, Timothy Dalton is, and plays the villain as devious and very manipulative. And, when Valentine calls him a lunatic, first thing he does is puts his sword to the throat. His sword to the throat is like this. Now, Eddie, I want that damn rocket. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. And you boys are going to go get it. It's like, don't ever threaten me. And they go, and like, what does a movie star need with a rocket anyway? And then he puts a flower in, and he calls his henchman, Lothar, who, very good special makeup on this guy, injured getaway driver, tells him to go find out about the hiding rocket packet at the airfield. Well, Lothar goes to the henchman, where the little crook is being watched by cops, but he's, injured. And, first he locks the door with a chair from the police getting in. This police is talking, hanging out with this nurse and listening to a radio, because I guess in the 30s you didn't have TV. Well, you probably did have TV, but they were listening to this radio, they're laughing. It's a comedy show, and it gives Lothar time to talk to this guy. He's like, the rocket, where's the rocket? He tells him it's at the airfield, tells him, where's that? And he breaks his back, just crushes the guy. Very strong, big, strong guy. Cliff goes to see his girlfriend, known as aspiring actress Jenny Blake. She has a part in his latest film. These events that begin to ways in the relationship he lies to her about, they go see this movie, talk about it, they go hang out with their friends. One of the actors in it, though, he played Jonathan Kent and Lois and Clark, with Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher. He played Jonathan Kent. And he runs his, but one of the patients there, one of his friends accidentally runs his mouth by accident. And she's like, and Gina's like, well, why are you letting me go? I'm always the last person to know everything. Don't you trust me? Don't you care about me at all? Feels like, Cliff is not honest with her. That upsets her, drives a wedge between them. And she just goes to walk away. He's like, and then this, the bartender lady's like, well, go chase after her. Get dope. He tries to, but she gets away. He's like, Cliff, I'm sorry. He's like, that's okay. Cliff later tries to go visit her on the movie set, where you have St. Clair, putting on his mask and being his character, until the blonde girl messes up her line, because she does acting wrong. Then they get it done right, but Cliff is trying to sneak around, trying to talk to Jenny. Meanwhile, he accidentally pushes the pushes the set to the side. The set gets pushed to the side. He drops it. He's like, I'm looking for Ginny Blake. Who's there, Ginny? This guy's like, what are you doing here? And he's trying to tell her about the rocket that he's found. And St. Clair's like, overhears this and goes to Ginny, uses his charm on her. He says, hi, I'm sorry. It's like, he invites her to this club that she wants to go to. This club never takes her there. He talks about it, but never took her there. So he charms her, persuades her to stay with him using his charm. But only to get the information on the rocket, to find out if her boyfriend actually has it, trying to find something out about it. Meanwhile, they're going to this air show to make money. Cliff's late. So his friend Malcolm, who felt bad about, driving that way between him and Ginny, running his mouth, drunkenly, who's drunk, decides to go on that biplane for him. Yeah, Peavy eventually designs the helmet, of course, the helmet that the Rocketeer wears. You can probably see it more right here. He's like, geez, Peavy. But it's a cool, I like the Rocketeer's helmet, that's cool. The news press and Valentine Gangsters are also there. But since his friend Malcolm gets drunk and nearly passes out, almost has a heart attack, he has to fly out, So he puts the rocket on along with the jacket and stuff, and of course puts on the mask. And then he puts the helmet on. He's like, Peavy, how do I look? He's like a hood ornament, And he's like, okay, back up. Like, what? And then he flies in. Peavy, bumps back, flies off. Really good special effect. ILM did a fantastic job. Very believable, especially with the early 90s. I'll give the credit where credit is due. They do a great job with a great job with special effects. He's flying up there, flies up to the head side of it. He's like, Malcolm, because he's like, it's me, Cliff. And he passes out. He's like, Malcolm, wake up. And before the plane crashes, he's able to, fly him out of there and get him out of there. Put him back to safety. Throws him like on an air balloon or something like that for safety. And he's safe. Then he's flying, which is a really cool effect to see him fly. This is before Iron Man 2, because Iron Man was 2008. I'm sure that was based on CGI now, but this is a time where, effects were more practical then. But anyway, the Rocketeer, he flies, he tries to salute these people, but the rocket says, and he flies across the cornfield, and somebody says, that's a big gopher, And he almost says Peavy chases him on the truck, and he lands in the water, takes the helmet off. So he's like, Cliff, are you crazy? Are you trying to kill yourself? He's like, and Cliff's like, he's got mud all over his face. He's like, mud all over his body face. He's like, I like it, Peavy. I like it. And we can't tell anybody that I'm the Rocketeer. Of course, the media took pictures of him, but he can't tell the media who he is. So they take off in the truck, but the truck has to put a neutral because it starts and they don't want the FBI and the gangsters to see him. So he uses the rocket and, has to explode and take off, which is cool. And then, Valentine shows up and his men show up. They slap the thing out of his head, if one of his villains is eating popcorn, he slaps out the popcorn out of his hand, gets him in the head. But also, he says St. Clair and they're on his trail. But they don't know that it's him. They don't know who Cliff Secord actually is, or it looks like, or who's behind the mask. Until Joe Palermo, they say, what do we call him? Rocket Man, Flying Man? No, Rocket Boy? No, that's terrible. And he looks at the Pioneer, so he says, how about the Rocketeer? No, yeah, that's a good Rocketeer. So he, and he sees this too. Timothy St. Clair sees it. St. Clair sends him out to continue with the rocket. He goes to Joe Bueno. He kills his character as the FBI find him dead. And he writes down his address, which leads him there. He tries, Luther tries to attack. He tries to things him. Clifford can't get in. He's about ready to fight with them. He picks up Clifford because he's a big, strong guy. And, he gets his head on All the sudden, was like, "Where's the rocket? Where's the rocket?" You know, police cop, the FBI shows up. You know, and both are just pull these two pistols and start shooting out, and they shoot back. You know, because they also kill one of the cops, so now the two have to get out of there because now they're wanted men, because now they think, you know, they're in charge with murdering a cop, an FBI agent, or so the criminal's on the run now. He does still the schematic drawn up by Peavy. They go to the diner, but Valentine's mobsters show up, but they play it cool as they have the rocket and his helmet upstairs, and they don't know who Cliff is, so they just keep fooling. They're like, "Hey, anybody, you seen this Clifford Secord guy? Who is he?" And he's like, "We don't know, he ain't here. He's gone." Of course, you know, Valentine's gang don't believe them, so they start getting violent. They start, you know, throwing pushes, so they even shoot a radio. It's like, "I hate music when I'm digesting." Pow, pow. And they almost get ready to torture Peavy. They are going to put his face to a stove. And it's like, "I know what this Cliff Roy is." You know, Cliff says Cliff is identity, just to protect himself. Well, they're trying to protect him. And they make a phone call. I mean, no. Right. Cliff did make a call to Jenny. No, I don't think it was to Jenny. Sorry, somebody else. But anyway. They end up learning about Jenny's date because they make a call to Valentine, and he takes Jenny to Sinclair takes Jenny to this date, and that's when, you know, she's got the beautiful, in the white dress. Oh, she's gorgeous, yeah. She's got the white dress on. She meets some of his people when they have a dance, as he's seducing her, you know, just, you know, putting his charm on her, trying to find out where the rocket's at. And later, you know, Sinclair talks to Valentine, and Valentine is like, "Why don't you ever kill one of my own men again? You ever do it again, I'll kill you." Like, "Don't threaten me, Eddie." I was like, "Oh, I go to the police, so they'll leave a two-time crook like you over a famous movie star like me." "Oh, you shit out, John." You know, gets mad. You know, but since Cliff realizes that she's in danger, so the men go away. They leave two other guys there. They're able to fight with them, knock them out, and Cliff goes up to the attic to get the suit on. It's like, I know it was like, "Cliff, come on, here, come on." We said, you know, they talked about an agreement earlier before this happened to go and to return the FBI from the right owner, who was Howard Hughes, but they don't find out until later. But anyway, he's like, "Because I'll love her, BB." He's like, "You tell that?" "No, but I'm going to. She'll know." And of course he takes it was like, "Watch out." He was like, "What?" And he takes up again. He runs back and he, you know, uses the suit to fly. The fuel tank gets shot, by the way, with a rocket, but Peavy fixed that with chewing gum. And it's a place called the South Seas Club. You know, where Jenny is, you know, dancing with Sinclair. They talk. She tries to have a conversation with him until, you know, she talks about Cliff. He's like, "Come on, I need to know my competition." Talks about how Cliff is. He's a charming, sweet guy. He's a sweetheart, but it's just that I don't feel like he can trust me sometimes or something like that. She says, you know, she sees Cliff. She never pretends like, "That's not Cliff." He's like, "Yes, I've showed you before." He puts on the note saying, you know, she knows, he's like, "Meet me by the big fish now." And, you know, he jumps water on her by accident just to make an excuse. He's like, "Okay, I'll go to New Towers," and they hide. He puts the note, you know, puts suit on the note so Sinclair can't see it. And he tells her that he's the Rocketeer. He's like, "Have you read the papers?" Like, "Well, I've been busy all day." He's like, "Well, I'm the Rocketeer, you know, the rocket." He's like, "I love you, Jenny." Well, pardon the same there, but you know, she knows. Now knows it. But he has to escape because Sinclair eventually, you know, sees the note. Jenny gets kidnapped by Sinclair. Well, at first, you know, he goes to find his rocket. The gang shows up because he runs into Lothar, who shows up, bumps into him. He's able to run and get the suit. flame guard from piece in the laundry chute, shoots it up. This other lady runs on the laundry cart, from around, and he's flying around, which is, again, really good for effects, because the Rocketeer is flying around. Rover tries to shoot him, but he uses the rocket as, his helmet to bump into him and knock him out. And before, Clifford can get up and try to shoot him, try to kill him, Ginny knocks him out with a vase, which I thought was cool, and then he gets away. Well, he flies away, because they block him in to trap him, along with St. Clair trying to kill him, trying to get that rocket. But he flies out of there because he flies out the mirror, the window on the ceiling, flies out of there. And he kidnaps Ginny by spraying her, using chloroform. Ginny wakes up, then sees St. Clair coming, so she pretends to be asleep. And he's like, you kidnapped me. Of course, I was forced to kidnap you. And of course, I'm sure at this point she doesn't trust him. As she thought he was a heroic, handsome, good-looking guy who cared about her, but apparently she knew that he's just a psycho. He's not a good guy. Say what you will about her, her character in here, but she's not stupid. She knows. She's like, okay, you want me to wear this? Wear this, nightgown? And she's like, oh, St. Clair, can you help me? He's like, tries to protect her for just, but she grabs this flower vase, hits him with it. And I was like, thank you. And it takes off. And she zips it back up. She's able to go into his Nazi room. She goes in this room. She sees this book with the Nazi symbol. She's like, oh my god, never St. Clair is a handsome from there. And like I said, spoilers, he's a Nazi. But she is detained and gets captured by, Lothar grabs her. And he's like, talk to your girlfriend, Cliff. And he leaves a message with bringing the rocket back to the Griffith Observatory in exchange for her life. Because if he doesn't, they'll kill her. But then he goes like a phone call, after calling this little girl, he yells at the little girl, like, I'm sorry. And then the FBI shows up to arrest him. Cliff has the rocket pack, which they can't find. He explains that his rocket pack is a prototype similar to one that Nazi scientists have, which now have been unsuccessful in developing. He shows him horrifying film that reveals the scope of the Nazis' plan. They only are flying soldiers to invade the United States. If the Nazis want to take over the United States by using the rockets and the power of it, with Hitler running it, and that's what they're trying to use to a rocket. They're trying to protect it from them. That's what they want. And at first, PV's there is like, yeah, take everything you but use that. Like, Cliff, give it to him back. He's like, no, not yet. I need to say he's got my girlfriend Ginny. He's like, never St. Clair. Like, come on, he's not. They don't believe him. Like, come on, he's just an actor. The movie star. You're making enough stuff. It's like, no, think about it. He was telling everybody what to do. He's in charge. He's running the show. He's a Nazi. When Hugh demands the rocket pack, Cliff explains that he needs it for the rest of Ginny. They say, kid, just let us handle this. He's like, no, they told me to come alone. But he escapes. He's able to know that they're not going to just listen to him. He knows he's got no choice but to go along and save Ginny, so he punches the head by agent guy out. This time just runs out the door, jumps to this model prototype plane just to get out of there. But he believes Hannah flew where he says, so they know where he's going. But he gets it before time, of course, because he puts on this suit. There's moments where he's, flying to, when he flies to the East Club, takes off the helmet, and then does it again, takes off the helmet. So he flies to the rendezvous, says the Rocketeer, takes his mask off. He's like, how Eddie, how does it feel to be working with Nazi? And they tell him that there's this room. At first he tells St. Clair Ginny first, and he's like, once a gun on her head, he's like, the rocket first. And he's like, they tell him that, the guy said, he told, Cliff tells Valentine, tells Eddie, you know that he's a Nazi? He's like, wait, he's like, I don't work for them two-bit Nazi. He points a gun at him, so the gangsters turn him. And even Luther's like, Luther, hold on, Luther. You're not bulletproof. But until the Nazis and show up, and he realizes, she's gut. Uses his I don't know how to pronounce. He's speaking their language in his German language, and he's like, "Happy Valentine's Day, Eddie." And funny enough, Valentine's Day was actually this week, Wednesday. But the Nazis have a blimp, an airship, to get away. The airbags and suddenly, and as their president has security surrounded the area. Then the mobsters join forces to battle the Nazis, and they're, everybody's shooting at each other. And Eddie and one of the FBI guys is leading at each other, but then they're just shooting up and they continue shooting at the Nazis. And, they're trying to grab the rocket, but he uses the rocket to get away, knock one of the Nazis out, and he goes to get his helmet, puts it on. It's a very patriotic moment. Makes me proud of being American, where he, gets his gun, puts the helmet on, stands next to the American flag, and just flies off. Look, it's the Rocketeer, people say. And Eddie says, "Go get him, kid." Go get him, kid. Cliff flies aboard the airship. He gets on a rope, gets caught on a rope nearly. But Luther goes out there, ties himself like on the rope, on harness, tries to fight with him. But since he's not masked up, Cliff is not the greatest fighter in the world. He's just a pilot. But Cliff is able to, he does push Cliff off a bit, but Cliff is still got the rocket, flies around and knocks Cliff out. It doesn't kill him, just knocks him out. And when the Nazi Sinclairs, knows that, he knew that the Rocketeer would come. He knew that Cliff would come. And knowing that, one of the Sinclairs like this, you movie star, and then pisses Sinclair, so Sinclair shoots him dead. And he's like, "Holy girl," she moves. Jeannie accidentally says a bigger fire with the flag on. Stupid Curly does it. That was a stupid moment, but hey, she was just trying to save her boyfriend, trying to save Cliff, because he does punch Dalton. He does punch Sinclair, but of course Sinclair nearly kicks his ass for a little while. I'll admit this, Cliff is still a young guy and is a tall guy, can handle himself, but again, if you want to complain about the action and the hero, well, again, he just does fly when he's but if he had the rocket in his mask on, he could have definitely not Sinclair like that, but we had to have a moment where he had to take the mask off and save the girl, because he already knows who's behind the mask anyway. But that's okay with me. Maybe you could use a little more action in this film with the Rocketeer. Before I get to all that, anyway, damn, excuse me, fudge. Trying to say that for I just try to say fudge. Anyway. And it works, but there's a fire. Sinclair, help us get this fire. He's like, nope. And he's like, you're a fraud. She says, you're just a fool. You're a bad man or something like that. A fraud, whatever she calls him. He's like, no, Jenny, I'm an actor. Takes off. He's like, no, I got the rocket. He's on fly with it. I guess you say back to Germany, but Sinclair doesn't notice it. The rocket panel flies up, but he failed to notice that the fuel was leaked, causes the rocket pack to catch on fire, causing Sinclair to plummet to his death on the fire near Dawn Hollywood land sign. This shows part of the sign, and he dies. Luther gets engulfed in the flames as they ship, so he tries to run with Jenny and Cliff, but since he's still tied to the harness, he dies. With Cliff and Jenny are rescued last moment by Hughes and Peavy flying an autoplane. Hughes later presents Cliff with a brand new G Air Racer to thank him for saving America, but he did, because he saved the world. And his relationship with Jenny are better. Jenny returns the pack of blueprints, which she found in Sinclair's home. With some modifications, he can build a better one. He tries to talk to him. He's like, look, I can build this with modifications, I can build this, but him and Jenny, she's like, I love you. They spanish love each other, and they share a good kiss at the end of the movie. Kids are playing around saying, yeah, the Rocketeer, and he's on the airplane, just to become a pilot like he fully wanted to. And of course gets Jenny, and they share a long good kiss in the movie at the end, and then the movie ends there, and that's the end of the movie. So, yeah. But anyway, that was the Rocketeer. Maybe I'll read some quotes from the movie. Peavy, you got a good thing going on here with that girl Clifford. And I'm telling you right now, if she flies the coop, it's going to be your fault. What do you know about William Peavy? You haven't had a date since 1932. Flora Maxwell, that wasn't the winning point date, nobody after her. Jeannie, prepare yourself to a shock. I'm the Rocketeer. The Rocket who? Oh, for crying out loud. Didn't you hear the papers? No, I've been working all day. Wasn't that the line again? Or my parents, when they, have flirtations with each other. With that drink on my lips, thanks. Don't mind if I do when they share a kiss. Where's your stuntman now, Sinclair? I do my own stunts. And they're fighting at the end. How did it feel strapping the thing to your back and flying like you ran out of hell? Well, it's the closest thing I'll ever get to heaven, sir. Well, maybe not. How'd I look? Like a little woman. Okay, that's just a little bit of quotes, but some good dialogue in this movie, yeah. But anyway, let me get my final opinion on the Rocketeer, guys. Yeah. Anyway. No, leave it alone, I'm sorry. Anyway, about to be done with this video. For some of my final opinion, again, I love this movie. The Rocketeer is a very underrated film. I like the story, but the part, about the rocket, which the rocket is really cool. The story is really good. It's a very interesting story. I thought Joe Johnston did a great job directing. The cast was great. I think Billy Campbell did a great job. He's definitely, a really good actor. And I like that Cliff Secord is just a pilot, just a guy trying to pay his due, but, eventually becomes a hero in the movie. Becomes a Rocketeer. The Rocketeer is awesome. I love the character of the Rocketeer, him flying, the helmet, the mask, and and his jacket here is really cool, And even the poster, I think the poster is awesome, This movie has a great poster, no doubt, But the Rocketeer was great. Him flying, the CGI, the battle, the visual effects are great. When you have explosions or action scenes going on, it's really shot. Cinematography is great. Everything is good. My music by Jim Horton, something like I can't really do the music, but the music is, if you know the Rocketeer, really good music. Score by James Horton. Billy Campbell, Alan Arkin does a great job as Peavy. Jennifer Connelly is gorgeous in the movie. She's still beautiful, but definitely one of her best roles. Again, still a better movie than Allie. So I don't know if it's true if Joe Johnston was really going to direct the Hulk, but Joe Johnston sure directed Hulk. It would have been a better movie. He would have casted somebody better than Eric Bana, But Timothy Dalton did a great job as the villain, and I like that. He's an actor. He's got charm, wit. He uses charm and his manipulation of people. Sure, people think he's a good, nice guy, but he's really an a-hole. He's really not a good guy. And Timothy Dalton perfectly plays the villain, whether he's a Nazi. He's just not a good guy. He's a terrible person. He's a truly a villain, truly a nasty guy. That's how I would describe him. Just a nasty guy. But Timothy Dalton does a perfect job playing a villain. Definitely one of the best villains in any superhero movies I've seen. Did a great job. Paul Wiener does a great job. A gangster that works for him, and you say he's like a signatory type, but goes to change when he knows that he's a Nazi. And they did get of that. Yeah. But the cast members are good too. Like I said, you'd recognize some people from other movies. O.A. Jones, okay. Yeah, his name is A. Jones. Of course, like I said, he was John McKenna in the New Adventures of Superman. He's really good, too. He's also in Invasion USA with Chuck Norris. Yeah. But good actor, a great cast, good music. Let's see if I'm missing anything. Running time is fine. I'll get more of my issues with it now, but it's got a good story, good cast, good special effects, really good story, really good cast. The humor when it's there is really funny. It's very entertaining and fun to watch. It's a fun movie. Now, my complaint, here's some of my issues. The running time, I don't think you needed to make this film, well, like I said, it's 108 minutes long. I think you could have trimmed a little bit of stuff out. I think it would be wrong if they would keep the stuff in. So it's not everything was, they took some stuff out of this movie. They probably did. But they could have left some of that in. But despite that, though, the chemistry of Billy Campbell and Jennifer Lawrence, they have good chemistry, perfect chemistry there. Billy Campbell, unlike Eric Bana and Hulk, he's not deadpan acting here. He's a good job acting wise. He's very believable in the role, of Cliff Secord, and that's just such a cool name, Clifford Secord. That's a cool name. But I like the Rocketeer suit. That's pretty cool. And his helmet, that's cool. I really like the helmet. That's my favorite part of it. The helmet's real cool. Yeah. My complaints is maybe that you could have used a little more action. I would like to see more scenes with Rocketeer fighting guys. I know he flies away, but I'd like to see a lot more scenes with Rocketeer. You only see it maybe 3 times at least, or 4. Barely, but you could see the Rocketeer a lot more. A lot more flying scenes would be nice. But I guess because of time and budget, they didn't have a lot of time for that. I guess because of budget, because, eventually for any movie, every movie, I guess, every scene they film costs money, so Disney is going to keep giving them money eventually, even though they want the movie to come out. Plus, which is a shame, but, you could have is it Raiders of the Lost Ark meets Top Gun? Yeah, it is in a way like that, but, which is cool. It is pretty much Raiders of the Lost Ark. Indiana Jones meets Top Gun. Meets Maverick. And so that's just really cool. But the Rocketeer, the action, you could have had a little more action in there. A little more action scenes, a little bit more Cliff kicking ass, Cliff could fight a little more. I would prefer Cliff, not just pilot, but maybe a martial arts or something. I know it's not a martial arts film, but have him be able to fight a little more, I could get it why he couldn't handle a fight with St. Clair, because St. Clair is a Nazi Germany. He's probably, you figure he's like a guy that's been in the military too, and as a soldier, so soldiers know how to fight. And if you're not a soldier, you're fighting a soldier, you're probably not going to win in a hand-to-hand combat fight with one if you don't know. Because the soldiers know how to fight. They do. But still, a little more action scenes. At running time, you could have trimmed some stuff down, like, I don't know, maybe a little bit of stuff. Didn't need everything in the movie, but, some scenes could have been maybe a little trimmed down, just a little. The pacing, it can be a little too slow at times, just kind of slow, a little bit. But the pacing I thought was fine. It doesn't bore me. I'm interested. The thing is, though, the film has a really good story. Again, the character, I'm invested in the story. I'm invested in the character. That's what works for a superhero movie. I'm being invested. Yeah, okay, he's a good pilot, though. And when the action there is good. So that's my only part of 2 complaints. Oh, and maybe I do think the film should have been made by another studio. I can see it being kind of a different movie. But I guess Disney wanted to pander down a little bit because they wanted to sell toys and video games and all that, and just make a buck out of this. And of course that didn't work. So sometimes it just doesn't work. When you stick a little more faithful to the comics, it works better that way too. I'm not saying it works all the time. And sometimes it does work, sometimes it doesn't. In this case, maybe the movie flopped. Movie didn't make, it underperformed at the box. It wasn't completely a flop, but it did underperform and didn't make a whole lot of good money at the box office. But it wasn't a complete flop. And I guess people at the time were like, okay, this film's not interesting, so maybe that's why. I don't know. Maybe people just didn't have interest in that time. Either, like I said, you had Terminator 2 Judgment Day come out around this time. I think Terminator 2 came out in June. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not looking it up. But you had other movies that came out from that year, so maybe people said, oh yeah, I'm going to go see Terminator 2, because Terminator 2 was a big movie back in 1991, I believe. And think about it. Where are people going to go see? The Rocketeer or Terminator 2 Judgment Day? You tell me. Anyway. But The Rocketeer, to sum it up, this is an awesome movie. Underrated film, so underrated. One of the best superhero films, I would say. Yeah, one of the best in my opinion. Just had a few of those issues, like, let's say you can trim some stuff down. You didn't need a long running time because kids could lose interest in that. A little kid watching it, if I was a little kid, 10 years old or whatever, I'd probably lose a little interest. I'm like, as a kid, I don't want a movie to be long. Even now I want movies to go on, but the movie does not feel that long. The pacing is fine. It's kind of slow paced in some areas. You could have trimmed it a little bit down. A little more action, or action scenes with Rocketeer flying, that would have been nice. But still, when it's in the screen, when it's off screen, see a man flying, I just wanted to see a little more of it. But despite that, The Rocketeer is an awesome movie. It's a fun movie, great movie. Love this film. I'm going to give The Rocketeer 4 out of 5 stars and a thumbs up for The Rocketeer. Just like Siskel and Ebert, I give a thumbs up for Rocketeer. Thumbs up. So guys, tell me in the comments down below, what do you think of the Rocketeer in your opinion? Do you like it? Do you hate it? If you've ever seen it, have you ever seen it? And what's your favorite film from Joe Johnston? Mine probably is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I would say that's my favorite. You know. But anyway, guys, let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of the Rocketeer? If you've seen it? Again, in the description box below, there will be spoilers. I'll put it. Just make sure you read the description below, guys. Also, guys, yeah, that was my review of the Rocketeer. Again, my rating for the Rocketeer once again is 4 out of 5 stars, and a thumbs up for the Rocketeer. So, guys, tell me in the comments down below what do you think of the Rocketeer. Again, don't watch this review because there were spoilers. So, don't spoil the movie for yourself. Anyway, that's your choice. But anyway, for the next review, now we're going to get into let's see, 1990 TNT 2 Secret Reviews. So now we're going to get on to the 1993 superhero films. Batman Returns was 1992, but I've already reviewed Batman Returns. It's on my channel. If you check it out, it's on there. It's on my channel. Batman Returns, yeah, 1992. But now we're going to move on to it should be 3 movies of 1993, and starting with the first one that came in March. Yeah. And that will be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. Or Turtles in Time. Or just Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. This one, I know this is next. Yes, this will probably be a rant. Because I really remember not caring for this movie. But it's only 95 minutes long, so I'll probably try to review it today. So stay tuned later for today for my review, or probably just epic rant, or rant, I don't know yet so far, of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. Which will be next. So guys, stay tuned up for that. And so Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. That is next. Oh guys, my community post, also look out for my community post. I will be saying when the next videos will be, when the next review is, and I'll put the thumbnail picture for the thumbnail for the review for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, and you'll see the thumbnail for the Rocketeer review here, which I'll put it on the community post too. I'll share it on Facebook, Instagram, Facebook story, Facebook groups. I'll share it on there. You know. Yeah, but guys, anyway, if you watch this channel, please tell people about my channel, Levi McNally, my name, with a Batman profile. Just let people know, you know, if my viewers out there, you know, I know my audio's not the best, but hopefully one day I'll get better audio and better quality and a better looking space, but this is what I got right now. So please, just bear with me. And another thing, just share my channel with your friends, family, anybody, share it with anybody you know. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. Thank you guys. Love you guys. 419 subs, so hopefully we'll keep on growing. We'll, just like the Rocketeer and stuff, we'll just keep soaring and flying. As I will always keep flying on this channel and not stop. But anyway, guys, hope you look forward. And also for a new Revolutions channel, we're in February. We're almost down February. Anyway, for 2024, I will be doing like a list of maybe some movies that I'll be reviewing next. Maybe I'll start doing that more, like a list of films, the next reviews, so you guys will know. I did it last week, I think. Yeah. Yeah, it was 7 movies. So I put 7 movies on the list. Yeah, and of course, again, we'll be starting with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It is some 93 films, and it'll be some 94 films, including some sequels, 3 sequels, and just more, and some 1994 films as well, which you'll see more on the channel here. Anyway, guys, just watch for my community post, watch it for my next reviews, and I'm going to do more like list for, you know, 7 movies or 8 movies I'll put for the next coming up videos on the channel. Okay? I always keep you guys updated, not only on the video, but also on the community post for updates. Check out for updates on the channel, what's coming up on my channel for next videos, or, you know, when I say stay tuned for the next review, you'll know what the next movie I'm going to review, because I will post on the community post. And again, please share, guys. You share on your Facebook page, your Instagram, Twitter, whatever you share my videos, my channel. I appreciate the support. You know, thank you guys. Love you guys. Thank you for the support. Hope you enjoyed my review of The Rocketeer. Awesome underrated movie. Like I said, underrated film. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this movie and below. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. That'll be the next review day. So stay tuned for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. So, thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.